Oh, shaky camera. Is CPM-10V good for bushcraft use? So I have a CPM-10V blank sitting at about 65 HRC. I have some other clips of the hardness test. This is 3/32 stock. This is, the edge is wonky, the edge is all warped, but this is between 12 thou and 8 thou behind the edge, and then in this section over here it's about 5 to maybe 8 thou behind the edge. The edge is a little wonky right there. Looks okay over there. So we're gonna do some testing here real quick to see what's going on here. We'll get a close-up on that edge. There's a little bit of a spot here, that little grayish area, and that's kind of where the warp initiated from two blades being in the same packet. But we put an edge on here, we put a nice mirror polish edge. This is the area that I was saying is thicker because of that warp. I can't grind that warp out. You can see how messed up that whole edge is. It was actually a lot worse before heat treating, but you know, we're gonna try to baton some stuff and do some abusive stuff. The edge angle is 18 degrees per side. So let's give it a shot. Let's see what happens. This is deer antler. I should probably chamfer the spine if I'm gonna do shit like this. So we're carving in there. Some turn cuts. That's some pretty rough stuff to do, especially with fine edges. I'm gonna pull it out and look at it. Looks okay. I'm gonna grab some paper. Back to half. Oh, it's windy. Okay, there might be some micro chipping there from that. All right, not terrible. I can't really tell here. Take my glasses off to look. It's starting to get darker out. I don't see any micro chipping of the edge. I'm gonna take this one spot. Where did I put my antler? If I can find my antler. I do this all the time, guys. I have something and then I put it down and I don't know where it goes. All right, oh, I found it, okay. I want to take that questionable spot, which is right here. I want to dig that in and see if that'll chip out on me. It looks like it's holding up. Again, I didn't expect this to really do anything because my other edges hold up fine. Can't feel any rolls. No, that edge just feels a little bit weird. A little bit more dull. Maybe it is a little chipped out there. Still slices. Still doing good. I've lost a lot of edges to fatwood, so let's grab, even though I'm pretty sure antler is a lot tougher than fatwood is. Yeah, no, this is way softer to cut into than antler, so we're not gonna really worry about that, but we're gonna baton this through some stuff, so I gotta grab that. All right, we have some pieces of wood here. Sorry, the light's fading, but I'm just really curious about if this will work or not. So I have my fatwood baton that I'm going to use, or maybe I'll use one of these sticks to start off with batoning. But sorry if this is out of frame, I really don't know. But we have our 3/32 10V on here. I'm just gonna go for it. Will it survive the batoning? Wow, this sucks to hold on to with no handle. This really, really sucks to hold on to with no handle. There's a trick that I once saw about doing this. This blows this piece of wood. Goodness. Destroying the tip of this. Well, not the tip of the knife. We're destroying the piece of wood we're trying to baton through. There's a big gnarly knot in this. Maybe I do have to switch to the fat wood baton, something with a little bit more power. And look, a rag to wrap on this, because this is digging in my hand something fierce. All right. This. Whoa, oh my goodness, if it makes it through this without breaking. Oh my goodness. Holy crap on a cracker. Can you guys appreciate like how insane this is right now? How we're trying to get through this thing with a knife that's not supposed to do this anyway? I don't think maybe I would. Maybe I'd be dumb enough in real life to baton this through. Why won't you die? Whoa. The blade is warm, and hopefully it's not too dark to see. Whoa. Blade is warm, and there is no edge damage, which I have to say is pretty impressive. It's the next day. I haven't done anything to this knife. Still pretty good. Still shave hair with it. Not as well as when I started, but it still does just fine. We're gonna do another round of batoning because it was off camera. The top of the vlog was off camera. So this is what we already worked on. Split that just fine. Let's do this piece. Gotta wrap my handle. I like destroyed my hand. Right. Let's go this way. Do the center. Bottom of this. There we go. Wrap it. I see nothing wrong with that edge. The only concern is that spot that might be a problem area that I've pointed out. Looks like we get a little bit of a hang up around that spot that I thought would be a problem area. Still doing great. Awesome. I want to do some cross batoning here, right? So just see how this. Does with tasks like this. Add a baton of notching or something. Looking okay. Use a little bit more of the tip. Ow, this is a very awkward chunk of wood. Do this on this end would be better. Actually, let's go right here. Do some basic prying with it. Okay, we're gonna get that bark off. Now, let's see. Now, this is a shit piece of wood to use. Let me grab a different piece of wood. All right, got this now. Random broken broom handle. And I think it's just because it's awkward. Angle, crabby baton. There we go. Okay. The lack of handle doesn't make this any easier. Everything looks great. Oh, did I do it? Did I break the tip? I did break the tip, which I expected that to happen. But it was prying really well. Look at that grain, looks buttery. So yeah, but keep in mind the one thing that I never have ever done with any of my bushcraft knives is stab and bend. And I run all my bushcraft knives, all the tips on my bushcraft knives are really, really thin anyway. But now that we broke off that very tip, it's doing great. So that's one caveat to the 10V, but I don't ever do the stab and bend into things. And it was doing well until it wasn't. Piece is still in there, but we'll go ahead and fix that. Bring that tip down a little bit, and then I have some more abuse testing that I want to do with this. Actually, the more abuse testing that I want to do, I can do before fixing the tip. So let me get that set up. Okay. I want to cross baton some antler. I want to baton into some antler. Let's see. Nothing. All right, we'll go a little bit harder into there. Pick. Maybe there. Okay, we broke some antler off. We're not all the way through yet, so let's keep going. Okay. Dent in the log. Let's go this way. There we go. Wow. Okay, we definitely nicked that edge, chipped that edge a little bit. Let me go grab a piece of paper. Again, this isn't something I would do, but yep, you can hear it. Oh, we're still slicing this. That's pretty impressive. We're still hanging up right at that problem area. And that's actually right in front of that problem area is where it's chewed up the most. Right there. Still works. Still some good abuse. Alright, I fixed the tip, put it on the grinder, brought that tip back down. I actually kind of like that profile, a little pointier. I'm going to take this, hold it at about chest level, and just drop it and let it crash into the concrete. Simulate, you know, falling on a rock. So, about chest height. Alright, let's see what happened. That did... Oh wow, that did amazing. Holy crap. Alright, let's do it again. Oh, there we go. Oh, nope. That was part of the concrete coming out. That was part of the concrete. It's still pointy. Holy crap. We'll try to do it in slow-mo. Okay. Now, 3 drops to take that little bit of a tip off. That's probably worst case scenario. I bet you can still cut stuff with that though. Alright, we're gonna come to even more abuse testing. After everything we've done, we're gonna do some chops. Given this can only do so much due to its limited weight. But that should give us a good indication. Alright, I see one little chip, and that actually chip might be big enough to hang us up on some paper. Let me see if I have any more paper. Again, we're still in abuse category here. So let's see. Yeah, it's rough. Yeah, that edge is rough. That edge probably took damage from flipping and falling on the concrete too. Wind's not helping. There we go. Yeah, tip a shot. Down here, I can still shave. Is that on camera, hopefully? Yeah. Down here, I can still shave with it. Let's see. No, and then up there, it's shot. And I wonder if I can feather with it. Let me see if I have any sticks. All right. This is probably going to be a sucky feather sticking experience, but I wonder if we can still... Well, we can still perform. So the area that I can still shave with, can still feather just fine. It's a little, oh, we can do it. Thank you, geometry. That's a dull there. It won't shave, it'll kind of cut paper, but because we have good geometry, we can use that tip. It's kind of hard with no handle, but you can still use it. So after all that use, the question is, how hard is this to get back to sharp? So I have a 400 grit Atoma diamond plate that's, you know, fairly well worn. and we're gonna go ahead and just try to do a freehand sharpening of this. This was originally a guided sharpening, so I had a consistent edge angle. Maybe I'll try to work that tip back in, which would be like this. So I might want a coarser stone to do that. It's making some progress. It's not that much material to remove, but it is making progress on that spine. So let's just make sure we're rolling. And okay. Okay. Check my scratch pattern. Check for a burr. I'm a little bit lower than what I was sharpening at, so let's bring that angle up just a little bit. Okay, I have a tiny burr up towards the tip. I have a little burr along the whole thing. Oh, we'll go to the other side. Might have to flip back and forth a few times, but kind of hard to grip this with no handle. Okay, now I can definitely see the damage. Now that I'm reestablishing that bevel, that's usually how you can see a lot of the damage that has occurred. I've noticed on some of the, especially the higher wear resistant steels, when you strop them after, you know, some pretty decent use or some abusive testing, that's when you can start seeing those chips a little bit more clearly. So I still have a little chip here, a little bit there, and a little bit of chewed up edge right around that problem spot, right in front of that problem spot, which I talked about after batoning the antler, I believe, or chopping the antler. What was this? Okay, got a really nice strong burr. Okay, so I got pretty much everything out of that edge. There's a couple little chewed up spots. Actually, I think some of that is just some burr formation, so we'll go into our deburring. Our nice light deburring passes. So I think for woods use, I think this knife for bushcraft use is totally fine. I think 10V would be fine. I'm working on 2 full-size bushcraft knives in 10V. You know, it took doing things that I wouldn't normally do with even an 01, a 52-100, a 3V knife to take damage. So overall, I think it's totally fine for woods use. I think it's really impressive how much abuse it stood up, or how much abuse it stood up to. And you wouldn't necessarily have to carry a stone with you. If you did want to carry a stone, I would say just do a plated diamond stone, smaller than this. Maybe even 600 grit would be fine. I'm going to switch to a different stone to finish the deburring, because this is a very coarse stone to deburr on. Okay, it's probably the best I'm gonna get. I actually deburred really nice already. Let's wipe this off. And let's go ahead and try to slice some paper. Ooh, very bitey. Switch to a resin bonded diamond stone, which I do not like as much because the feedback, I think feedback on resin bonded diamond stones suck. Absolutely terrible. I hope one day to get my hands on some vitrified diamond. They're hard to get, they're expensive. There's probably one person working on getting new ones, so I'm just gonna do stropping motions on this. So hopefully those would be better feedback, but I usually use resin bonded diamond for my guided system because they sharpen everything. I get really good results off of them. Just when you freehand, you don't get the feedback that I would expect or that I'm used to from other knives. So I got a little bit more deburring to do. I definitely feel that burr flipping over. Gotta do some lighter passes. I'm only gonna go up to a stone. I'm not gonna put it on a strop yet. Realistically, if you're in a field, maybe a 1200 grit, 600 grit stone, as long as you can deburr on it well, it'll give you a really nice field edge, you know, kind of edge that, you know, will last you till you get back home if you're really concerned about it getting destroyed, the edge getting destroyed. You go out and do dumb stuff like trying to chop down a tree with a 3-inch knife. But all right, we'll finish it up with this pass, and we'll feel that edge. It feels pretty good. I'll wipe that off, make sure it's nice and dry. Grab my paper and see if I did better or worse. Let's see. Oh, look at that. That wasn't bad at all. What are we at? 7 minutes and 46 seconds. I'll take that for 7 minutes and 46 seconds. And we almost put that tip back on just from sharpening it, which generally isn't the way to fix a tip, but we'll just say, hey, look at that. We almost fixed the tip. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I'm definitely planning on doing a 10V knife for myself. In a much thicker stock, taper tang, fancy stuff, bigger knife. But I will have a Forester and a Puko available in 3/32 10V.